शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये. Om. Dear friends, we are seeing the Sankhya Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. That is the second chapter. We were reading the 63rd shloka. And Krishna was saying as to how there is a gradual degradation, a sequential degradation, because Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Pajayate. You keep on pondering over certain objects. Vishaya. Vishaya, the very word Vishaya, if you see the etymological meaning, it comes from a Sanskrit root called Shi Bandhane. That is, they have the nature of binding. They have the nature of attracting us, binding us to them. So, Vishaya is something which is having that nature of binding. So, Dhyayato Vishayan, a person keeps contemplating on the Vishayas and then he gets bound to that. And then he develops raga, he develops attachment, and from raga, dvesha comes. From raga means, if raga is unfulfilled, suppose your desire is unfulfilled, then again there is a krodha. And krodhat bhavati sammoha, that will lead to delusion, deluded thinking, that is loss of judgment, and sammoha, smriti vibhramaha, that is our morality, our sense of morality gets lost. Whatever shastra, acharyopadesha janita samskara, that samskara will get lost. And smrti bhramshat buddhinasha, then our sense of our decision will be faulty. And buddhinashat pranashyati, a person will fall, his downfall, it will lead to his downfall. So that is what Krishna was saying. There is such a gradational or sequential downfall. And so then what does it mean? Then are we supposed to totally withdraw ourselves from the Vishayas, and then are we supposed to totally keep aloof and then live like saints? So he says, you need not. But you enjoy, you have what all is legally or what all is morally permitted. But then you have your indriyas under control. So that is what he is saying in the next shloka, that is 64th shloka. He is saying, Ragadvesha viyuktaistu vishayan indriyaischaran atmavashyair vidheyatma prasadam adhigachati. So he is telling a small concept called prasada buddhi. Prasada buddhi means a mind which is in a very calm, quiet state. At the same time, it is not keeping aloof all the things. It is also having things, whatever things which are coming, it is having. But still, it is not getting excited, it is not getting perturbed, it is not getting exhilarated, it is not reacting to that. So, ragadvesha viyuktaihi vishayan indriyehi charan. So, it is for indriyas, the two adjectives are given. Ragadvesha viyukta. Those who have risen above the raga and dvesha, the indriyas have risen above this raga and dvesha. How? That is only by education. Apart from education, there is no other way. Apart from viveka, education means viveka, apart from proper discrimination of what is right and what is wrong. So he is making a distinction between what is called a permitted way and unpermitted way. Permitted way is shastriya pravrutti, that which has been allowed by the Shastra, which has been sanctioned by the Shastra. Ashastriya is something which is not sanctioned by the Shastra, something which is prohibited by the Shastra. So that he is drawing a distinction. So, indriyaihi, ragadvesha viyuktaihi is one adjective. The second adjective is atmavashyaihi. They are under your control. They are under the control of the mind. They are not controlling the mind. It is not as though the indriyas are controlling the mind. The indriyas are under the control of the mind. Atmavashyehi and also vidheyatma. Vidheyatma means whose atma here means antahkarana, that is mind, is under control. The mind also is under control by buddhi. Indriyas have to be controlled by the mind and mind has to be controlled by the buddhi. So vidheyatma, such a person, prasadam adhigachati. Prasadam means the calmness of mind. Calmness of mind, that is something there. The commentators have used a word called swasthyam. Prasannata means swasthyam. Swasthyam, we know the word swastha, swasthata we say. What is this swasthata? A health. Hindi also, the same word is there. I think it is there in all languages, Indian languages. Swasthyam is swasmin stha. You are in your natural state. So that means our natural state is to be healthy. Our natural state is to be happy. If we are aswastha, it means we are not in our natural state. Na swastha, that means na swasmin stha. I am not in my natural state. That means I am sick. Suppose I fall sick. I use the word called aswastha. When I regain my health, I am not gaining anything new. I am only coming back to my original state. And that original state is called swastha. That is, I am in my own self. Swasmin sthaha. Prasadam adhigachyati. So then what is it we are seeing in this? That is, whatever vishayas are needed for our activity, whatever vishaya means all the sense objects which are needed for our day-to-day livelihood, and to secure what all are essential for the decent living, they are permitted. They are permitted. And we have to draw a distinction between what is called the needs and luxuries. Nowadays, we also see what are the needs and what are the luxuries. Sociologists, or rather the consumers, they draw a distinction between what are the needs and the luxuries. And today, what is a luxury becomes tomorrow's need, because suppose there is a TV. TV at one point of time was a luxury, but now it has become a need, because the TV has become a medium of education. A cell phone probably was a luxury in the beginning, but now it has become a need. So our needs also keep on growing as technology grows and as society changes, society moves. Society becomes more and more complicated. Then our needs also become more. But here, with all this, with all the social change, because social change is something which we cannot stop, we have to run with the social change and also keep these in mind. We have to run with the social change and also keep these essential principles in mind. So then we have to draw a line somewhere. So that is what we see here. So this prasannata and swastham is swastha. Swastha is a term which is also used by Patanjali in his Yoga Sutra. Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam, he says. Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, the very first sutra says, Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. That is, all the thought processes, all the movement, all the flickering, wavering movement of the minds, it all has to be stopped. All the chitta vrittis has to be stopped. At that time, you are in your swarupa. Tada swarupe avasthanam. Swastha. You are in your swastha state. That is, swastha state is to be happy. And when the mind is tossed about here and there by various things, that is something which is aswastha. So that is what we see here. Vishayan indriyaihi charan, the root chara, the root charati means in Sanskrit the root chara gives two meanings. That is charati means moves. Charati also means bhakshanayoho, gati bhakshanayoho. It has got two meanings. One meaning is to move, another meaning is to enjoy, to eat. Eat means to enjoy, that is experience. It is not as though enjoy, because sometimes the vishayas, when you are experiencing it, it may give happiness, it may give unhappiness. So that is this gati bhakshanayoho, it means that is experiencing sense objects also. The indriyas have to be under your control. So that is what this shloka says. And the next 2-3 shlokas also talk about the same prasada buddhi, that is the calmness of mind, the quietude of mind, where buddhi is not getting excited. Buddhi is not getting excited by attaining a thing or by losing something. The next shloka says, prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajayate prasanna chetaso hyashu buddhi paryavatishthate. Prasade means in that state of tranquility, in that state of calmness. Prasade, when the mind is tranquil, when the mind is calm, in that state of prasada, then sarva dukkhanam hanihi upajayate. For the seeker, what is the result of that prasada buddhi? All the dukkhas. All the dukkhas means we categorize the dukkhas into 3 types. That is adhyatma, adhibhautika and adhidaivika. That is something relating to the body within oneself, and something relating to the external surroundings, and something which is dependent on the divine, something which we call some divine unexpected thing. So these 3 types of afflictions, these 3 types of grievances will be there. So all these things, they can be sorted out. The person is in harmony with himself, he is in harmony with the surroundings, he is in harmony with any unexpected thing which can happen through some divine intervention. So prasade sarvadukkhanam hanihi asya upajayate, and prasanna chetasaha, for such a man who is having that prasanna buddhi, ashuhu buddhihi paryavatishthate. Buddhi becomes stable. Paryavatishthate means, that is, commentators have written, atmaswarupena nischali bhavati. That is, buddhi is well equipped to be in the path of knowledge, because it is only when the buddhi is pure and the buddhi is tranquil. We talked about two things, that is, one is the purity of antahkarana, that is nirmalatvam of antahkarana, and another thing is nishchalatvam, that is calmness. It should be quite stable, still. And the mind is usually compared to a lake, where the water should not be turbid and water should not be wavy. Water should be clean and it should be very, very pure water, and the water should also be still. So the mind is supposed to be like that lake, a pure lake which is still. So like that, prasade, prasanna chetasaha, ashuhu. Ashu means quickly, because that mind is quite receptive. It is quite receptive to the teaching of the Upanishads. And ashu, buddhi paryavatishthate, atmaswarupena nischali bhavati, means it is very fit to receive that instruction, very fit to grow to that level. So, here the question is, how can a seeker very, very consciously cultivate that habit? How can a seeker consciously cultivate? So, here the commentators, they say, there is a word called Atmanusandhanam. Atmanusandhanam means a person who is in the spiritual path, he listens to this Vedanta Vakya. Vedanta Vakyas, they say, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Ayamatma Brahma. Tattvamasi means Tat Tvam Asi. Tat means, in Vedanta, Tat refers to that. Tat means that, literally Tat means that. Tat refers to that Brahma or Supreme Reality. Tvam means you, Asi means you are. You are that Supreme Reality. When you say that you are that Supreme Reality, then the person realizes, yes, I am that Supreme Reality. Then not only me, but all the other things. When I say that I am Brahman, it does not mean that you are not Brahman. I am Brahman and you are not, you are an ordinary person. It is not like that. When I say I am Brahman, it means that my individual ego is totally dissolved. My individual ego is totally dissolved, and then I am aware that apart from Brahman there is nothing. So that is what is the meaning of Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi is not an egotistical statement where somebody says, yes, I am Brahma, you are nothing, you are a small fellow. It doesn't mean like that. Aham Brahmasmi, the person's individual ego has totally dissolved, and he is looking at everything as Brahman. So that is what is the meaning of Aham Brahmasmi. So here, so this Atmanusandhanam means a person who is in this spiritual path, he is supposed to constantly remind himself. That is Anusandhanam. Anusandhanam means application, application. What all you have read, you have to apply. Early in the morning, you have to apply the same principle to you. So for that, for example, there is one shloka, I think by Shankaracharya, a very famous shloka, Atmatvam Girijamatihi. It is Anusandhana shloka. In fact, Shankaracharya has written so many small prakaranas. Small prakaranas means about 5 shlokas in one place. Another 6 shloka, Maya Panchakam, Kashi Panchakam, and Nirvana Shatkam. So group of 5 shlokas, Ekashloki also at one point of time. So like that he has written some shlokas. All these things are for guided meditation. Nowadays we go to Swamiji's for guided meditation. They are really useful. I am not, when we go to Swamis, I am not saying that is something bad. When we go to some of the Mahatmas, they do conduct guided meditation. In fact, I saw a guided meditation conducted even by some foreigners. Nowadays, even the foreigners, they are conducting guided meditations. One particular person called Mooji, Mooji. So he conducts, he is some African person, a British citizen. He speaks in very chaste English, and he sat in Ramana Maharshi's ashram for about 12 years. He spent his time in Ramana Maharshi's ashram for about 12 years. And he has picked up the Vedanta, basic principles of Vedanta so well that he conducts these meditations, guided meditations in a beautiful way. In fact, you can find them on the YouTube also. So this guided meditation is what is suggested here in order to remind oneself of one's own nature. I was about to tell you one shloka. That is, the shloka runs like that. Atmatvam Girija Matihi. He is addressing God, or rather the person. He is trying to remind himself, Atmatvam, you are the self. He is referring to, say, Shambhu. Shambhu as the supreme reality. Atma Tvam Girija Matihi. Girija is the Mati. Mati is that intellect or the mind. Sahachara Pranaha. My Pranaha. Prana means all the energy which is there in the body. Prana Shakti symbolizes energy. All my vital airs and all the energy which is in the body, that is sahachara. That they are my sahacharas, they are my friends, they are my associates. Sahachara pranaha. Then shariram gruham, this whole body mind complex is something which is called it is the body. This gruham is the house, it is your house. So like that, pujate vishayopabhoga rachana. And what is your puja? Puja is vishayopabhoga rachana, means all the vishaya upabhoga, whatever objects I am enjoying, that is your puja. Which means he is not doing something immoral and then he is saying it is your puja. When you say that vishayopabhoga rachana is the puja, naturally you are doing something which is only permitted. All the permitted actions, all the dharmic actions, his entire behavior is purely conducted as per the dharma. So such all the dharmic activities, they become the puja. Pujate vishayopabhoga rachana nidra samadhi sthitihi and sanchara padayoh pradakshina vidhihi. Whatever, wherever I move, that is like your pradakshina. Wherever I go. That means you don't go to some place of ill repute and then you say that it is pradakshina. Definitely you don't go to a gambling place. When you go to a gambling place, you don't say, okay, I am doing pradakshina of Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu. So that means all our movement also is dharmika. All our activities, all the vishayopabhoga is dharmika. All our movement is also dharmika. Sanchara padayoh pradakshina vidhihi. Then stotrani sarvagiro. Stotrani sarvagiro means whatever I speak is your stotram. That means when I am shouting at somebody, or when I am criticizing somebody, or when I am carrying tales against somebody, or where I am speaking some foul thing to somebody, it does not mean stotram. So which means all my word also is in accordance with dharma. My activity is in accordance with dharma. My movement is in accordance with dharma. My words are in accordance with dharma. Stotrani sarvagiro. Yadyat karma karomi tattadakhilam shambho tavaradhanam. He says, Yadyat karma karomi. Whatever activity I do, O Shambho, that is your aradhana. You can say Shambho or Vishnu, whatever you want. But that is how Anusandhanam. Anusandhanam is reminding yourself that supreme reality is your nature. That Atmanusandhanam, the commentators have said that Anusandhanam is the strategy in order to reach that particular level. So here, prasanna chetaso hyasu buddhi paryavatishthate. Paryavatishthate means buddhi gets established in a very, very firm manner. It gets established. It is still and it becomes established in that way. And the next shloka is about a person who is not having this ability to do Atmanusandhanam. A person does not do Atmanusandhanam. A person is merely a scholar. Merely suppose there is a professor who has studied all these Upanishads, etc. And he is going about, okay, I know all the Upanishads, etc. He may be talking. So what about his position? Can we call him a jnani? So he says, Krishna says, such a man is a paroksha jnani. That means he has got that intellectual input. Okay, he may speak about all these things. He may debate. He can participate in debates, etc. He can say, okay, Tattvamasi, he can explain in a very nice way, saying about Tat, what is that Tat, and what is the Tvam, and what is that Lakshana, and what is all the what is all the technique used in explaining that particular line, etc., etc. But he is not a jnani. He is only having that paroksha jnanam, but he is not having what is called aparoksha jnanam. So these two terms also we have to know, what is called paroksha jnana and what is aparoksha jnana. Paroksha jnana is knowing a particular thing. When he says, the Shastra says, Tattvamasi, you are that Brahman. And then there is another statement called Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman. I am Atma Brahma. These are called Mahavakyas. Mahavakya means very grand, mighty statements. Maha means very grand, mighty, magnificent statements. Why are they called magnificent statements? That is because they talk about the oneness of Jiva and Atma. The oneness of the Jiva. Jiva means not only human being, the oneness even of an ant, of a mosquito. Even that is a manifestation of that Brahman only. That is what they say. So when it says, I have to feel it also. If I don't feel, then it is paroksha jnana. If I also feel, if I bring it to my experience, then it is called aparoksha jnana. So this particular shloka is talking about a paroksha jnani. A person who has not done any sadhana, he has not practiced that samadhi. Samadhi, we saw that word, what is samadhi? Samadhi is keeping the mind focused in a particular thing is samadhi. Samyak adhiyate manah. You are supposed to keep the mind focused on that goal. So he has never done samadhi. So what is his position? So Krishna is going to explain. We will see tomorrow. Harihi Om Tat Sat.